Hey there, welcome into the show. You're watching the San Francisco 49ers Report. My name is Chase Sr. As always, no matter where you are, how you're tuned in, thank you so much for making today's show a part of your day. And coming up on the show, San Francisco coming off the bye week to play host to the Tennessee Titans at Levi's Stadium in Week 15. Kickoff is set for 4:25 p.m. Eastern, 1:25 p.m. Pacific in Santa Clara, California. The Niners, sizable favorites in this game. Minus 12.5 is the number there, and the over-under at 44.5. Before we dive into the best preview that you'll find here on YouTube for this game, a programming reminder. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon. Turn on your notifications and join us. Therefore, anytime we publish a video like this, anytime we go live, you'll get that push notification. In addition to giving you Niners coverage every single day year-round, we go live for every Niners game right here on the show, so I hope to see all of the real ones there. My initial thoughts on this matchup as kickoff closes in here. This is a must-win game for San Francisco. An opportunity to move to 10-4 on the year, and with the Niners being 9-4 right now, really is a story of how good of a job Kyle Shanahan, Robert Saleh, and Brant Boyer have done as a collective coaching staff with all of the adversity, all of the injuries. I know that the schedule has been somewhat easy, but within that schedule, Niners do have some quality wins, and they are right in the thick of things in the NFC. But if you lose this game, it will give you a sour taste because this is one of the worst teams in the National Football League. Tennessee, a rebuilding team, nowhere close to being in the playoff hunt. San Francisco in a wide open NFC is right in it. And a big reason why the Niners have to win this game is the final three games that are facing them, right? Indianapolis Colts, a playoff level team. Even though they might be starting Phillip Rivers, you got to go to Indy and play a team that is fighting to make the playoffs, right? Then you come back home the final 2 weeks of the year to play the Chicago Bears, who were the number one seed going into last week. They're the 7th seed. The Niners are the 6th seed currently. Then you round out with the Seattle Seahawks. And the formula for the Niners to win this game has been really the formula that we've seen during their 3-game winning streak. The offense has to carry as they've gotten healthier. They've gotten reinforcements back, and that's where they're talent-rich and injuries haven't hit as hard. And as the offense carries, the defense continues to improve. You look at the NFC West standings here, things are so tight. And this is one of my big predictions going into this year, that I thought the NFC West was going to be one of the best and most competitive divisions in football, and that's exactly what has taken place going into Week 15. The Rams are 10-3, the Seahawks are 10-3, the Niners 9-4. And by season's end, any of those three teams have an opportunity to win this division. And you look at how things shake out in the NFC playoff picture. Keep in mind, I'm recording this on Thursday, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play tonight on Thursday. The Rams are the number one seed at 10-3. The Niners are the 6th seed at 9-4. So one game is the difference between the 1 seed and the 6th seed. The Packers, the 2 seed at 9-3-1. The Eagles, the 3 seed. They've lost 3 games in a row at 8-5. Tampa Bay Buccaneers still leading, hanging on in the NFC South. Then you have Seattle in front of the Niners by a game as well. And Los Angeles and Seattle still have to play in a couple of weeks. Then the Chicago Bears there in that 7th spot at 9-4. San Francisco and the Bears, they play in Week 17. And across the NFL, in Week 15, a couple of games that I want all of you to be watching for this weekend. Lions on the road against the Rams. The Rams at home, SoFi Stadium, 5.5-point favorites. As of right now, the Lions on the outside looking in of the NFC playoffs, but they're also in the mix, and they're a scary team when they play their best football. The second game, Colts on the road against the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle, 13.5-point favorites. Indy has lost 3 games in a row, 4 of their last 5. Daniel Jones out for the year. And the Colts this week had to sign the 44-year-old Phillip Rivers. And that's why they're 2 touchdown dogs in this game. We'll be rooting hard for the story that is Phillip Rivers, but for the Colts to knock off Seattle because San Francisco could use a Seahawks defeat. Going back to the Tennessee Titans here, an outlook on this Titans team. They selected Cam Ward, the quarterback out of Miami, with the number 1 pick in April's NFL draft. He started every game, as is the case with the rookie on a bad team who's already had his head coach fired. There's been some good, there's been some bad, but they are bereft of talent on that Titans roster. And speaking of that head coach, they fired Brian Callahan, and so Mike McCoy, who was a big Peyton Manning guy with the Denver Broncos and used to be the head coach for the Chargers, is now the interim head coach. And there's a lot of buzz that Mike McCarthy, the former Packers and Cowboys coach, is looked at as the front runner and the favorite to get that Titans head coaching job. I said it months ago. I like his fit to Tennessee. You're in Nashville. It's a growing city. McCarthy has been the head coach for 2 really big brands, Green Bay, Dallas. He's dealt with pressure, but the pressure in Nashville, not as great as it is in Green Bay, Wisconsin, or with the Cowboys. Most importantly, he has done a great job of winning and developing quarterbacks, and I think that he could develop Cam Ward very well. The Titans so far, here's how they've fared on their 2025 schedule. Week 1, lost to the Broncos 20-12. Week 2, kept it close for a half, then got blown out by the Rams 33-19. Lost by 3 touchdowns to the Colts at home. Lost 26-0 and got blanked by the Houston Texans. Their first win of the year, Week 5, on the road against the Arizona Cardinals. And one of the craziest games that we've seen this year as far as the percentage chances that the Cardinals had to win that game. DeMarcado was going to run it in. The Cardinals were going to take that big lead, and then he fumbled at the half-yard line. That led to an insane Titans comeback. Then the Titans lost 20-10 on the road against the Raiders, 31-13 on the road against the Patriots, 38-14 on the road against the Colts, 27-20 loss at home against the Chargers, lost again to the Texans by 3. It was a lot closer than that first go-around. Lost to the Seahawks by 6, but then lost 25-3 to the Jags. And then last week, Cam Ward against Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders balled, but Tennessee got the win, holding off Cleveland 31-29. As for some Niners injury news here, Tennessee, a pretty healthy football team. Tatum Bethune dealing with an ankle injury. Defensive end Sam Okuwanu, also a high ankle like Tatum Bethune. Linebacker Nick Martin, as of this recording, still in concussion protocol. Fullback Kyle Juszczyk returned to practice this week. We'll see if the new linebacker Eric Kendricks can give it a go. Hasn't played with this Niners team, was signed in the lead up to that Browns game, but they wanted to get him acclimated with this defense. He's been dealing with a little bit of a calf issue, so San Francisco trying to get him ramped up. And then defensive end Yetur Gross-Matos, who missed time with the knee, then with the hamstring injury. He had his practice window opened, the highest graded pass rushing grade, according to PFF, on this Niners roster. So with that, who you got in this game? TEN for the Tennessee Titans, SF for the San Francisco 49ers. Let me know who you're rolling with in this Week 15 matchup. Now, coming up next, we're just getting started with our preview here. I'm going to give you my keys to the game, top matchups to watch, what the Niners must do to beat Tennessee. That's all coming up just around the corner. But let me tell you about our sponsor, our friends at Ridge, powering today's San Francisco 49ers report. This Ridge wallet has been a game changer for me. You can put up to 12 cards plus cash in this, and it's still thinner than my iPhone. It's practical, it's durable, it's made with premium materials like titanium and aluminum. Carbon fiber is the one that I have, and I'm somebody who hates having way too much in my pockets. It gives me anxiety, and so with the Ridge 2.0, it frees up my pockets. It's so thin, easy to carry around, and I no longer have that big, fat, thick, crusty brick in my pocket any longer. They also have some really badass designs. The Ridge 2.0, it's 10% lighter. Every gram matters. They found the perfect balance here. They made it more modular with improved cash straps, money clips, and the AirTag attachment is awesome. If you were to lose your wallet, you have the AirTag attachment on it. You'll be able to track it down. Improved surface design with tonal logos and matching plated cash straps made with premium materials like aluminum, titanium, carbon fiber. Over 50 plus colors and styles to choose from. You can even get a wallet that features every NFL, Major League Baseball, or college team. If you want a Niners wallet, you can get that. Perfect for holiday gifting, especially since Ridge is having their biggest sale of the year right now. Over 100,000 five-star reviews. That is proof that Ridge is a gift that people love to receive. Ridge isn't just about wallets, though. They create premium everyday carry essentials like key cases, suitcases, and their game-changing power banks, all built with the same sleek, durable design. You'll find the perfect gift for every wish list. So, for a limited time, Ridge is having their huge holiday sale. Head to ridge.com/chat. Get up to 47% off your order. This is by far the biggest discount they've given all year. That's ridge.com/chat for up to 47% off your order during their biggest sale of the year. After you make your purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that the 49ers Report sent you. To the back half of our preview, the meat and potatoes of our Niners-Titans preview. Let's get to it here. You're watching the San Francisco 49ers Report. My name is Chase Sr. Coming up on the show, my keys to the game, top matchups to watch, what the Niners must do to beat Tennessee to push their record to 10-4. And as always, I'm going to give you my prediction as well. Let's first take a look at how the Titans have fared going into Week 15 on both sides of the ball. There is a reason why this is one of the worst teams in the National Football League and why it would be unacceptable if San Francisco were to lose this ball game. On offense, led by the number 1 overall pick in Cam Ward. He hasn't had a lot of help, and you see that the offensive numbers are brutal. 31st in points per game at 15.5. 32nd in yards per game at 246.2. 32nd in yards per play at 4.2. Also dead last in third down conversion rate at 29.9%. And in the red zone, they're scoring touchdowns at a 52.1% clip. On defense, anytime you're not playing complimentary football, you leave your defense out there to dry. They do have some good talent on that side of the ball, led by number 98 on your screen and Jeffrey Simmons. But on defense, the numbers aren't pretty either. 29th in points per game, 26th in yards per game, 27th in yards per play, 16th on third downs, and 26th in the red zone. As for San Francisco, their offensive numbers have started to increase and go up. And on this 3-game winning streak, Brock Purdy obviously has had his ups and downs, but he's led this team to 3-0 since he's come back, and some quality offensive explosion. 16th in points per game for the Niners cumulatively all year, 12th in yards per game, 16th in yards per play, 2nd on third downs. With Purdy, that number has really been on the uptick, 8th in the red zone. Third down red zone, 2 areas that really killed this team last year. This year, they've vastly improved. I think Kyle Shanahan has also had a really good year. And then on defense, the fact that Robert Saleh's defense, 8th in points per game. What an incredible job he's been able to do this season. 20th in yards per game, 22nd in yards per play, 14th on third downs, 14th in the red zone. And so with that, we flip the page to my keys to the game and the top matchups to watch. The Niners defense must dominate this game. There are no excuses. This Titans offense, as we highlighted, an awful unit and one of the worst offenses in recent memory. Now, I really like Cam Ward coming out of Miami, his ability to throw with touch, make plays out of structure, the clutch gene, he has it, and I'm excited to see what he can do with a better coaching staff when he gets more talent. But this Titans team is pretty talentless, and that's led to Cam Ward having a very difficult rookie year. I like the mindset, I like the mental fortitude, and I like the makeup, and I think that eventually he can become a really good player. But he's not right now because this Titans team on offense is dreadful. He's completing 59% of his passes for under 2,500 yards, only 9 passing touchdowns all year and 7 picks. He started every game. his number one back, not a bad player, in Tony Pollard. Tennessee did make a lot of investments into the offensive line this offseason. Hasn't really reaped a lot of benefits. Pollard this year, 743 rushing yards on 175 carries and 4 touchdowns. Their leading receiver is Chig Owonkwo, and he's a tight end, been in the league for a couple of years, 6'3", 238. Calvin Ridley hurt out for the year, and he has 41 catches, 426 yards, and no touchdowns. So obviously, when I say that this Titans team is bereft of talent, that's exactly what I'm talking about, and that should give this defense another opportunity to gather confidence, to put up another good defensive performance, to continue to take advantage of this momentous ride that they are on. And you think about the 3 teams that they've beaten during this 3-game winning streak: Arizona, Carolina, Cleveland. You beat Tennessee. That gives Robert Saleh an opportunity, too, during this process to figure out what he likes personnel-wise, what play calls are working. And it just gives this Niners team a good sample size to continue to build up that confidence and get reps together for a team that doesn't have a lot of defensive continuity because of all of the injuries there. Key to the game number 2. This is a chance for Brock Purdy to cook. And we're going to take a look at Purdy's 3 games since coming off that injury. Of course, he suffered the turf toe in week 1, came back in week 4. Then we didn't see him again until that Arizona game. And he was very efficient against Arizona. I was surprised that he seemingly didn't need to knock off any rust. 19 of 26, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, a quarterback rating of 133.5. But then against Carolina, a step back for him. 3 interceptions, all of them came in the first half. He was 23 of 32 for 193 yards and a rating of 58.5. Still, though, I thought it was impressive how San Francisco was able to win that game by 11 points. They covered the spread, and despite those turnovers, they still had a solid offensive performance when you took a look at the tape. And then against Cleveland, cold, windy, bad weather. Brock Purdy doesn't have a great history of playing in inclement weather. Kyle Shanahan had been owned by Jim Schwartz, 1-9 all-time in his career. I thought Purdy made some high-level plays. 16 of 29, 168 yards, 2 total touchdowns, 1 on the ground, 1 through the air, and a quarterback rating of 83.7. So against Tennessee, you continue to knock off some of the cobwebs and get yourself in a spot where you're playing your best football during this big 3-game stretch to end the year with the playoffs on the horizon. Key to the game number 3, this is more of a storyline, but Christian McCaffrey is closing in on history on a couple of different fronts going into this Tennessee game. Now, you look at his numbers from this entire season, it's been fantastic to see CMC healthy again. Rushing-wise, 849 rushing yards. Receiving-wise, 806 receiving yards. He has 237 carries, 85 catches, leads all players in the NFL in touches, and he's averaging more than 120 total yards per game. It's been an absolute game changer, and he's combined for 8 touchdowns on the ground and 5 through the air. As for the historical component of this, Christian McCaffrey on Sunday against the Titans, if he has 5 catches, he can become the first running back in NFL history with 90 catches in 3 years. Christian McCaffrey on Sunday against the Titans with 93 receiving yards can become the 3rd running back with 900 receiving yards twice in a career. And then lastly, if he has 145 scrimmage yards, he can become the 5th running back with 1,800 scrimmage yards in 5 seasons. He's putting together, honestly, a Hall of Fame-worthy career. Key to the game number 4, the interior of this Niners offensive line will be tested. Now, last year, Tennessee wasn't good either, but they did have, statistically, a very good defense and some really good defensive personnel. The interior of this Niners offensive line has been a big reason why the Niners have been able to go on this 3-game winning streak. Dominic Pooney, Spencer Burford playing a lot better. Jake Brendel has been just okay, but how do they match up against one of the top interior defensive linemen in the National Football League in Jeffrey Simmons, who has been getting it done for a really long time? 8 sacks this year, 12 TFLs, 49 pressures, and a pass rush grade of 90.7. For a 2-win team, this guy is a straight-up star. Lastly, I want to see this Niners offense get Ricky Pearsall involved. Since he's come back over the last 3 games alongside Brock Purdy, he hasn't had the production that he had to start the year. And it's not necessarily because he's playing poorly. I think at times he's been able to put cornerbacks into a cyclone and he's been able to get open. But this offense is at its best and most explosive when Ricky Pearsall is a focal point in the passing game. And since he's come back off that PCL injury, he hasn't gotten going. The Titans are giving up 8 yards per completion. That is second to last in the NFL. And with Brock Purdy shaking off the cobwebs, knocking off the rust, with Ricky Pearsall getting healthier, more acclimated, this is a game where the explosive plays downfield could be presentable for this Niners offense. Pearsall against Arizona, first came back. 2 targets, 1 catch, 0 yards. Against Carolina, 4 targets, 2 catches, 6 yards. Against Cleveland, 3 targets, 2 catches, 14, although one of them came on a pretty big play, I believe the final drive of that first half. But I just want to see Ricky Pearsall get going like he was going earlier in the season, because that's when this offense is at its best, is at its most explosive, when Pearsall's a focal point in the passing game. Predict the score. Titans-Niners coming up week 15 on Sunday at Levi's Stadium. I think San Francisco blows out Tennessee. They're rested up. They're rejuvenated. They're feeling confident. I think they win their 4th game in a row, and they win this game by 14.